Dear children, welcome to online classes. Today we are going to start a new chapter, that is chapter number 5, Natural Vegetation and Wildlife. Children, uh, in previous class we have started the chapter number 4, Climate. Due to some problem, that chapter I will continue later on. So we are going to see today this chapter, Natural Vegetation and Wildlife. So, children, you may have observed many types of trees, bushes, grasses, and birds in the fields near your school, parks, etc. Have you find any similarity, or there are any variations in them? So, India being a vast country, you can imagine the types of bioforms available throughout the country. So, our country, India, is one of the 12 mega biodiversity countries of the world. So, here, what is biodiversity? Biodiversity is a term used to describe the enormous variety of life on Earth. So, with about 47,000 plant species, India occupies 10th place in the world and fourth in Asia in plant diversity. There are about 15,000 flowering plants in India, which account for 6% in the world's total number of flowering plants. The country has many non flowering plants such as ferns, algae, and fungi. India also has approximately 90,000 species of animals as well as a rich variety of fish in its fresh and marine waters. So this is all about the biodiversity, variety of plants, variety of fish, variety of animals, etc. Natural vegetation. Natural vegetation refers to a plant community which has grown naturally without human aid and has been left undisturbed by humans for a long time. So, natural vegetation refers to plant communities which grow naturally. There is no interference of human beings in that, and it is left undisturbed by humans for a long time. So, this is termed as virgin vegetation. Thus, cultivated crops and fruits orchards form part of vegetation but not natural vegetation. So, these crops and fruits, orchards, these all are grown by the human, but natural vegetation is not grown by human. It grows naturally without human interference. The virgin vegetation, which are purely Indian, are known as endemic or indigenous species, but those which have come from outside India are termed as exotic plants. The term flora is used to denote plants of a particular region or period. Similarly, fauna, the species of animals are referred to as fauna. This huge diversity in flora and fauna kingdom is due to the following factors. Let us see the factors. Relief. First is land. Land affects the natural vegetation directly and indirectly. Do you expect the same type of vegetation in mountainous, plateau, and plains areas or in dry and wet regions? No. The nature of land influences the type of vegetation. The fertile level is generally devoted to agriculture. So, for agriculture, we need a fertile soil. The undulating and rough terrains are areas where grassland and woodlands develop and give shelter to a variety of wildlife. So undulating and rough terrain. Undulating terrain simply means a terrain which is shaped like a wave. Terrain is the term for an area of land. Terrain may include flat plains, mountains, forests, etc. Soil. After land, let us see soil. The soils also vary over space. Different types of soils provide basis for different types of vegetation. So soil is there is different type of soil in different places, like the sandy soils in desert, they support cactus and thorny bushes, while wet marshy deltaic soils support mangroves and deltaic vegetation. The hill slopes with some depth of soil have conical trace. To climate. The first thing in climate is temperature. The character and extent of vegetation are mainly determined by temperature along with humidity in the air, precipitation and soil. On the slopes of the Himalayas and the hills of the peninsula above the height of 915 meters, the fall in temperature affects the types of vegetation and its growth and changes it from tropical to subtropical, temperate and alpine vegetation. Photoperiod, that is sunlight. The variation in duration of sunlight at different places is due to differences in latitude, altitude, season and duration of the day. So differences in latitude, that means sunlight, the heat of the sun falls on the equator directly. So as we move from equator towards the poles, the temperature decreases. Then altitude, regarding altitude, as we move to the higher altitude, the temperature decreases. Due to longer duration of sunlight, trees grow faster in summer. Then here is one question for you, that is why are the southern slopes in Himalayan region covered with thick vegetation cover as compared to northern slopes of the same hills? Let us see the answer of this. Northern slopes of the Himalayan region are mostly covered with snow due to its high altitude. On the other hand, southern slopes receive heavy rainfall and soils found here are suitable for plant growth. Therefore, southern slopes have more thick forest compared to northern slopes of the Himalayan region. Then, about precipitation. In India, almost the entire rainfall is brought in by the advancing southwest monsoon, that is from June to September, and retreating northeast monsoons. Areas of heavy rainfall have more dense vegetation as compared to other areas of less rainfall. Children, let us see the importance of forest for human beings. Forests are renewable resources and play a major role in enhancing the quality of environment. They modify local climate, control soil erosion, regulate stream flow, support a variety of industries, provide livelihood for many communities, and offer panoramic or scenic view for recreation. They control wind force and temperature and cause rains. It provides humus to the soil and shelter to the wild animals. India's natural vegetation has undergone many changes due to the several factors such as the growing demand for cultivated land, development of industries and mining, urban. The vegetation cover of India in large parts is no more natural in the real sense. That means the large parts of the land is occupied by the human beings, except in some inaccessible region like the Himalayas, the hilly regions of central India and the Marustali. The vegetation of most of the areas has been modified at some places or replaced or degraded by human occupancy. Okay children, for today's class this much only. Tomorrow we are going to see the different types of vegetation. Thank you very much.